Hey everyone, it's Therese talking here from Elevate My Clinic. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I am so excited to be talking to you today on how to bounce back from lockdown. It has been an absolutely crazy year. There's been some really crazy times, but I really want to give you some amazing tips and strategies that you can implement into your business to help you bounce back from lockdown. So let's get started today. I just want to say a quick congratulations on taking time out to help your business. As I said, some of the strategies, I love to teach sales because some of the strategies that we're going to be talking about today, you can implement into your business straight away and get some great results. So have your pen ready, take lots of notes, put your action plan together, and let's get started. Okay. Before I get started, actually, at the end of today, stick around. At the end, I will show you where you can go to get some more resources, to get some more help. Obviously, we can help you to set some of these strategies up in your business, and I will show you how to do that. Okay, bouncing back from lockdown. Okay, so before we get started, I really want you to stop and think about your own business. Think about where your business is at right now. One of the things I want you to think about firstly are where is your weekly sales at? So what is the number of sales that you're getting every week? It could be 10,000, 15,000. How much are your actual sales per week right now? I'll give you a minute to write that down. And then I want you to write down how many clients you've got coming in each week. How many clients? If you're not too sure, that's a really good number to know, and that will really help you going forward. But for now, just maybe a guesstimate. Okay, so thirdly, if we know how much our sales are per week, how many clients we've got coming in, divide those two numbers and you'll get your average dollar sale. So what's the average dollar spend per client each week? That's a really great number to know, by the way, guys, because you can do a lot with average dollar sale just by increasing your average dollar sale. So remember, that's not doing any more marketing. That's a really great strategy. We'll talk about that another time. Okay, so now I want you to think about a year from now. Where do you want to be with your weekly sales? What number do you want to be doing per week? Remember, that's a dollar figure. So what sales figures do you want to have each week? And what about your client numbers? How many clients do you want to have per week? That's a year from now. And then your average dollar sale. So it might be $60, $80 per client now. Where do you want to be in a year's time from your average dollar sale? Okay, so have a look now at the gap. What is the gap between where you're at right now and where you want to be in a year's time? Is it really, really big or is it really small? Okay, if it's really small, then you probably haven't stretched yourself enough. You probably haven't increased, given yourself big enough goals to reach in a year's time, because really we want to be growing. Where do you want to be in a year's time? So that's okay, because today we're actually going to cover some strategies that will actually help you to reduce that gap. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Where do you want to be in a year's time? Remember, it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And some of these strategies are really going to help you and your team to do that. So probably, I imagine all of you have got a database. You've got a list of clients that have been into your business since you started. So, and A database is one of the biggest untapped potential in any business. Probably because business owners don't know how to utilize it properly, don't know how to re-engage the old people who haven't been in it for a long time. And so they just sit back and wait until people contact them. But really, your database is gold. There is so much opportunity. So even before you do any more marketing, there is so much to do just with your database. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Focusing on tools and training. It's really interesting actually, because what we see clinic owners do is when sales are down, the first thing they do is offer massive discounts. They go, okay, we're going to do half price facials or happy hour facials or whatever it is. They just go crazy with discount offers instead of actually stopping and taking the time to teach their team to sell and actually implementing some sales tools that could really help build the confidence in your team and actually give your team the tools that they need to be able to sell to clients. So why now? Now is a really good time to let clients know that you're back in business. And even if your doors have been open for a while now, it's still a really good opportunity to let people know that you're back. People have gotten busy. They've gone back out into, gone back to work. They've got really busy. So now's a good time to check in and see how your clients are going. And here's why. Because a lot of the time people could have forgotten about you. As I said, people are busy. They've gone back to work. Now is a really good time to reach out and just check in. And it doesn't always have to be sales oriented. Remember that, it doesn't always have to be sales oriented. But guess what? If you aren't contacting your clients, guess who is? Your competitors, right? So you spend all this money on marketing to get these customers in the door, and somebody else, and your client just happened to be walking past your competitor's window, and in the window they've seen this great promotion that they're running, and it's a promotion that probably you are running or could be running, or treatments that you have or products that you have in your business, and yet they have just seen it at the time where they've thought about it, they've gone in and bam, you have lost them for the next 6 months while they are going through the package that they've just purchased from your competitor. It's crazy. You've spent all that money on marketing and you've lost them to your competitors only because you didn't keep in regular contact with them and your competitors did, or they were walking past your competitors at the right time. And you're probably sitting there thinking, well, yeah, but we've got a lot of loyal customers, and yeah, that's fantastic. There's a small group that will definitely stay with you. But there are people who may just be contacted or, as I say, walk past the window of your competitors and there's a fantastic deal in the window and you've lost them for 6 months. You've probably heard this before. It costs 6 times as much to go and get a new customer as it is to look after a current customer. And as I said, when sales are down, clinics, they just throw all this money at marketing and they think, oh, this will get more business, this will get more people, not realizing that there's actually a lot you can do with your database. And I really encourage you to try some of these strategies first. So what's some of the things that you could try? First of all, we want to warm people up. So if they haven't heard from you in a long time, maybe the first point of contact isn't about, hey, we're running this fantastic promotion, or hey, come and buy this, or maybe your first port of call is, or your first point of contact is not to reach out to them to sell something. Maybe now's a really good time to just do a check-in, like how are you going after lockdown? A really quick, short, if you're using SMS, that's fantastic, or if you're doing email, that's fine too, but a really direct message to your customers and say, hey, just checking in to see how you're going after lockdown. If you think about it, people's skin, people have been a lot more stressed, so that's going to be showing on their skin. They've been indoors a lot, so air conditioning and everything, so maybe their skin's feeling a lot drier. So that could be the second question you could ask them, how is your skin going after lockdown? Really good opportunity to do just a very quick, brief check-in. So that's a really good one. What's new and who's new? Now, what's new? It could be a new treatment, it could be a new procedure. Now, I have to be clear, I am not suggesting that you go and buy a fancy piece of equipment just so you can tell people that you have something new. That's great if it's in the budget, but if not, it doesn't have to be fancy new equipment. It could just be a procedure. It could be just something that your team have learned during lockdown. It could be a procedure that, they took the opportunity during lockdown to learn a new procedure, and hey, we're introducing it to our deluxe facials. So come and join us for our deluxe facial and try out the new treatment. Fantastic way to re-engage people. Also, who's new? If you've got a new team member, what a great opportunity to introduce your new team member. It's even better if they can write it themselves. Whether it's it's some information about how long they've been in the industry, why they got into the industry, what's some of the treatments they love doing, why they love to help people. Some really good topics, or really good content for them to be able to write something that you could actually share with your clients. So, hey, we'd love to introduce a new team member. Susan's been in the industry for 20 years. She loves to do this particular treatment. She book in today. A really great opportunity to introduce a new team member. Now, offers. This is a really great way to entice people back into your clinic. Now, when I talk about offers, I do not recommend, I do not suggest doing massive discounted offers. I see clinics all the time just doing, half price facials or happy hour facials. And the problem with that is, first of all, you're creating price shoppers who may only come to your business when you have a special on. And the second thing is, you're actually discounting and taking away from your profits. Valuable profits. Please do not discount. What I'm suggesting, and if you've been watching some of our Instagram videos, you'll see that we, one of the suggestions that we had for an offer was to actually add on a low-cost treatment, which requires very little time from your team, but is a beautiful add-on. So a lot of you may have LED light therapy, which is a great one because you can pop them under the light therapy. They're 20 minutes. It's a beautiful treatment, a great introduction to that particular treatment. And they after then, you can talk to them about a package of treatments or whatever it is, but it's a really great add-on to a facial. Now, remember, if you are doing an offer, it's great if you can offer it to your clients and their friends. So remember, that doubles your bookings. It's a great way to double your bookings. So offers are fantastic to entice people back in. Now, what about an event? An event is a really great way to get excitement happening back in your community, getting people in for a VIP night. Now, obviously, I'm recommending that you follow the COVID restrictions, and if you're not allowed to have people in your business, or there's certain numbers that you have to have, there's only a certain amount that you can have in at one time. I strongly recommend you follow the guidelines. But if that's the case and you really want to do an in-clinic promotion or event, I would suggest having different session times, which is great because you could have 2 or 3 session times where your clients could come in. Or don't forget, there's the online option. If you want to do a demonstration or an opportunity to go online. People have become very savvy with online since lockdown. So doing an online demonstration or a VIP night, and you could actually send out, a great little idea is you could send out a little pack to all those people who are dialing in from home. It could be a little champers or a little information pack, and then you can go on at any time and do the demonstration. And when you're doing events, make sure you've set them up for sales. It's really, really important. Events is a great opportunity to make sales, but again, you have to set it up right. And if you need some tips, let me know, because I love to create events. We made so much money in our clinic from events. It was a really great opportunity. I'm just going to talk to you about one of our clients. We have been working with a client who, when we started looking at their numbers, they realized, we showed them that from their numbers, they had over 1,000 clients who hadn't been in for over 6 months. You can imagine the shock, the horror on the business owner's face when we, highlighted the fact that, 1,000 people hadn't been in for over 6 months. And this wasn't a time, this wasn't because of lockdown or anything like that. This was normal time. So they hadn't been in for over 6 months, and it was actually really concerning for the business owner. And what we did, this was pre-lockdown. What we actually did when we put a strategy together for them, so we actually set up a welcome back strategy, and we used online and offline strategies. So some of the online strategies were reaching out to people, sending them messages, really direct messages, very personal, quick messages just to check in. And then we also use some offline strategies. Now, remember, people's inboxes are full. They're bombarded with messages every day. There are thousands and thousands of people trying to get business. So there's lots and lots of, their inboxes are probably full. So trying some offline strategies as well will actually help to increase your response rate. We actually had a 26% response rate, so we managed to get back 26% of those clients. Now, we actually spent some time with their team training them on sales and helping them to upsell, cross-sell, selling with confidence, a lot of the things that we're talking about today. And they were able to increase their average dollar spend to $120 average client spend, which ended up being a whopping $35,000 strategy. Unbelievable. Now, if you think about that, we actually didn't do any marketing. There was no extra market. There was no, apart from the, some of the things that we actually sent out to them, very, very minimal costs. The cards and the things that we sent out to them in the post, very, very minimal cost. So it was actually a fantastic strategy. And it's a really good one just by waking up your database and contacting people who haven't been in for a very long time. Obviously, there's some work that needs to be done with rebooking and follow-ups to make sure that clients are booking more regularly, so this doesn't happen in the future. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look at missed opportunities. Missed opportunities is really, really costly to a business. I was in a clinic the other day, and I tell you, their product shelf was hidden at the back, out of the way, couldn't see anything, and it was actually obstructed by this glass case with ear piercing things, and it was all a little bit crazy. And I actually asked the therapist, do you sell a lot of products? And I wasn't surprised to hear her say, well, no, not really, but we do sell a lot of earrings and earring pieces, which I thought was really interesting because, when you think about it from a business perspective, your markup on a product is very different to an earring or a piece of, anyway, you get the message. Missed opportunities are really, really costly to a business. So let's make sure that we capture those. One of the first things is you start to see is products that sit on the shelf too long. They start to collect dust. The product box starts to fade. What happens then? Even though the product is good, clients won't buy it, your team won't sell it, and you end up having to discard it or use it in a treatment. Even though the product is fine, it still it doesn't get sold. So products that sit on the shelf is really, really frustrating for a clinic owner. I'm sure you're hearing this. You know, we really need to make sure that your team are selling products and the products are moving. Really, really important. Unused machinery. Oh my goodness. Unused machinery can be so costly. The machines, you know, especially some of the machines, hundreds of thousands of dollars. If they are sitting in the corner and they are collecting dust, they are a big cost to the business. Really, really big cost to the business. So you think about what happens to the business if your products aren't selling and your machinery, your treatments, you're not selling any treatments for the machine, you know, expensive machinery that you've got in your clinic. You end up not being able to cover costs. What happens when you don't cover costs? You've got to try and find, you know, you've got to try and find money for your products, for the invoices, and then the momentum of the business stops. The morale of the team goes down. Clients stop coming in because the feel of the business and the morale has gone down, and you end up having to close your business. I have seen this time and time again. It's really, really upsetting, and all because the products are sitting on the shelf not moving, and the machinery is not, treatments are not being sold. If you get this right, if you can actually get this right and you can get the product sold even before the invoice is due, it's a lot easier for your business. So much easier for your business. And some of these strategies will actually help you to get there. It's actually a really clever business if you can sell the products before the invoice is due. It makes it so much easier. So let's have a look at why your team aren't selling. First of all, self-belief. They do not believe that they are the experts, which blows my mind. You know, the amount of training that the aestheticians do is almost equal to, you know, or very close to some of the training that nurses are doing nowadays. So, you know, really the amount of training that they do, and yet they do not believe that they are the experts. Isn't that amazing? They believe that sales are just about making the boss rich. Oh my goodness, the amount of times I've heard teams saying, yes, it's all about making the boss rich. There are so much more costs to a business than just, you know, probably what they think is wages, or, you know, there is so many costs to a business, more than what they realize. They don't want to be pushy. Now, a lot of therapists think that sales is all about being pushy, and it's not. Sales is not about pushing people into a sale. It's about guiding them to help them make a decision, to help, you know, it might be overcome their skin concerns with aging or acne or whatever it is. It's actually guiding them to make the best decision that they can make for, you know, for their skin concerns. This one is really interesting. It's what your team believe around the price of the product. This is really interesting. A lot of the team members that I spoke to, have spoken to over the years, they'll say, "Well, I wouldn't spend that much money on a product," and I thought, well, that's really interesting, because a lot of the girls, and a lot of them were very young, you know, in their 20s, in their 30s. A lot of them wouldn't hesitate to spend hundreds, you know, on a night out. So this is a really great exercise for you to do with your team. Is you know, at the next team meeting, speak to them about, you know, how much would you actually spend on a night out, and get them to add it up. You know, it could be taxis, it could be drinks, food, a new pair of shoes, a new handbag. How much do they spend for a night out? And I think they would be surprised to see that what they would spend for a night out is probably more than one of the products that you've got on your shelf. Very, very interesting. They need to understand that it's just different priorities. For some of their clients, their priority might be, you know, anti-aging, or, you know, some really serious skin concerns. And their priority is obviously helping their skin to repair these concerns that they have, or fix the concerns that they have. That's their priority, and that's where they want to spend their money. And whereas your team may not always spend the same amount of money on their skincare. Look, a lot do. I've seen therapists, you know, spend a huge amount on beautiful skincare. I mean, there's some amazing skincare ranges now. You know, I've seen a lot of them spend, you know, purchase the high-priced products, and they, you know, they get the lovely treatments done. So not always, but some of them actually, you know, believe that they wouldn't spend that amount of money on a particular product or treatment. So why would they be recommending it to other people? So here are some of the mistakes that they're making, and this is probably one of the top mistakes that we see therapists make, is being too chatty. Is, you know, and don't get me wrong, building rapport is so important with your clients. Building rapport, you know, and just, you know, sometimes it might just be listening to them, or, you know, just being there for them. But, you know, building rapport is really important. But spending the time that they're in your clinic just chatting, and not actually having the opportunity to ask them any sales related or skin related questions, it can be really costly to the business. Especially if, you know, they're waiting until, you know, the client is checking out for their appointment, and they're at the till paying, and they go, oh, by the way, do you need any skincare? No, you're okay. Okay, fine. You know, being too chatty. I was in a clinic the other day, and the therapist had a reel of questions all about: how was your weekend? What did you do on the weekend? How was your Christmas? What did you get for Christmas? It was amazing. I could not believe how many questions, one after the other. So instead of having just, you know, questions you could ask your clients, you know, it seemed like she had a list in their staff room of the top 10 questions to ask your clients, because I guarantee I was asked all of them. And I didn't get a word in edgewise. And actually, I wanted to speak to her about the moisturizers that they had. So a really big missed opportunity. I just could not get a word in edgewise. So try and help them to avoid being too chatty. This is really important. As a salon owner, as a clinic owner, I really encourage you to just take time to listen. Listen to what's going on in your business, because you learn so much when you just take the time to stop and listen. And also encourage your team to stop and really take time to listen to their clients. If they are just listening and they're not trying to, you know, ask 50 questions like I had the experience the other day, they can actually stop and listen to what their clients are saying, and they might be listening out for you know, an opportunity to talk to them about a treatment or a product. It might come up that they're going to their friend's wedding, and, you know, they want to have their skin looking glowing. Fantastic. And that's when you actually have the perfect scripts for that particular occasion. So if someone says, you know, and all of these you can have up in your staff room, in your kitchen or staff room, is actually having a list of, you know, questions that you could, open-ended questions that you could ask your clients, that would actually lead into a conversation about a treatment or a product. So as I said, you know, if someone has said, oh, I'm going to my friend's wedding and I'd love for my skin to look glowing, a great opportunity. Have you thought about, so one of our scripts, which is a really great script, is have you thought about, and then you drop in the particular treatment or product that that it relates to that particular occasion. So have you thought about an LED light therapy series of treatments, your skin will look glowing, etc., etc. You see where I'm going. So a have you thought about was a really great script that we use in our clinic, and one that you can give to your team. As I say, have a list of scripts there ready to go. Don't forget, your consultation forms are gold. They have so much information. We actually had our consultation forms up in our kitchen, and next to that we actually had possible scripts or questions you could be asking your clients depending on what they answered on the consultation form. We've all been in lockdown. It's been a little bit crazy, and now people are coming back into your business. Might be a good opportunity to redo the consultation forms and have some questions on there that might lead into some sales questions. Practice, practice, practice with your team. Practice scripts. We can give you a whole bunch of scripts if you want. Message us and I will happily send you some scripts. But I encourage you to practice, practice, practice with your team. Role playing. Role playing is a really great opportunity for your team to take the script and put it into their subconscious. So that means that when they're actually speaking to the client or just listening to the client, they're not thinking about what they have to say because the script is there in their mind ready to go. So if you're role playing, I know it's awkward at first and your team will probably say, oh, I don't want to do role playing with the boss, but I tell you, if they can sell to the boss, they can sell to anyone. So practice the scripts, do some role playing. This is a really great strategy for overcoming buying objections. Now, clients have so many buying objections. It might be, I'll wait till payday, or it's not the right time, or I'll have a think about it. But one of the biggest ones that we see is the price objection. So using this strategy, when it comes to an objection with price, I really want you and your team to try this one. And this one worked a treat in our clinic. It really helped the team to have more confidence when it came to talking about price. And insurance companies do this strategy really, really well. So what they'll say, and you'll see this now that I've mentioned it, is what they'll say is, this insurance will cost you $1.62 a day. For peace of mind for your family, only $1.62 a day. So they actually break it down into small bite-sized pieces that people can actually manage. So $1.62, or what you could actually do is work out, I know a lot of the product suppliers can give you how many applications a particular product will have. So you can actually say, well, okay, this particular product will last you 3 months. That's the cost of a coffee a day. So the cost of a coffee, instead of buying a coffee, you can have beautiful skin because you're not drinking as much coffee, and you can have beautiful skin with this amazing product. And all it will cost you is the cost of a coffee a day. So breaking it down into small bite-sized pieces. You need to give your team some tools, some sales tools, what I'm talking about, to actually help build their confidence and sell with ease. So let's have a look at some of the sales tools that we've had. With our tools, what will tend to happen is your clients will come in, your team will talk to the clients, a lot of chatty because there's no sales process in place, there's no sales tools set up, and the client will come in, they will go out, there will be no purchases made, and it will be time and time again. They come in, go out, come in, go out, and no sales have been made. No purchases apart from the actual appointment, no sales, extra sales have been made. So without tools, this is what can happen. If they have something that they can refer back to, then the sales becomes less about them actually just selling for the sake of it and actually talking to them about, here are the risks involved if you don't start looking after your skin today. So having something that they can actually refer back to. Having a sales process in place, and you can have a sales process really, really structured with, many, many steps, which is fantastic. But keeping in mind that the sales actually starts before the client walks in the door. So before they have walked in the door is when you should have actually been communicating, a particular treatment, a particular product. Because if you're waiting until the end, until they're at the counter, it is the last possible opportunity, and very rarely do people turn around. It does happen, but very rarely do clients turn around and go, oh yeah, I'll just buy that today, without any prior information. So without a sales process, without steps in place, and without some seeding along the way, some information along the way, they actually are left at the counter not knowing any information, and they are very unlikely to buy. As I say, it does happen. If you have tools in place, whether it be, an information brochure or a couple of the tools that we're going to talk about next, it helps to build credibility and trust. And then it helps to then obviously build confidence in your team. Really, really important. One of the tools that we used in our clinic, really, really successful and really helped our team immensely to sell, was a skin scanner. And I know that a lot of people say, oh, I went into a clinic actually the other day, and there was a skin scanner in the corner under a whole bunch of books and stuff, obviously never, hasn't been used in ages. It is the best investment for your business, because it actually will show people what are the risks if you do not take action today to help reduce the signs of aging. So you start to see, aging spots or pigmentation, whatever it is. There's different things that a skin scanner will show your clients. It's actual fact. It's not you just saying, well, I think you should buy this product because it's really, really lovely. It becomes fact, and you're talking about the risks now. What are the risks if you don't do anything from today? Really, really important. This was one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen therapists use in clinics, is actually finishing the sentence with or. So they come to the particular point in the sale where it's called the ask for the sale, and instead of actually giving them, a couple of options, they finish their sentence with or. They finish their sentence with or. So here's how it goes. Mrs. Smith, would you like to buy this product today, or? And that's when they finish their sentence. I used to hear it a lot, and it was so frustrating, because what would happen? The client would actually finish their sentence. The client would say, it's okay, I'll think about it and I'll probably get it next time. Of course, they're going to finish your sentence. You've lined it up for them to actually, finish the sentence for you. Very rarely on that occasion did people say, yeah, I'll get it today. Because you've already said, would you like to get it today or not? There's no, it's crazy. So here's what we did, and here's what we do with our clients as well, is we actually set up a prescription plan. So actually, and this is a really important point I want to make here, is if you have your clients come in and they are not leaving with a prescription, if they are not leaving with a treatment plan or some way to overcome, their skin concerns, or their frustrations or challenges that they have with their skin or their body, then it is the same as going to the doctor and not getting a script. So it's really, really important that you give your clients a treatment plan. So actually having a script, we actually set up a script, and the script actually has two boxes. One is minimum maintenance and the other one is maximum results. And we actually have a plan for both. So that way people can decide. So when it comes to the time where you're actually talking to them about purchasing a product or treatment or package of treatments, it becomes It doesn't become, would you like this? Or it becomes, would you like minimum maintenance or would you like maximum results? And that is really, really clever strategy, because what happens is you've taken out no, you've taken out the no option. So, it's not, would you like to get a product today? No? Okay. So, you've taken out giving them the option for no. So it's really, really clever. If you are giving them two options, they choose either minimum maintenance or maximum results. So, even speaking to them about and teaching them, okay, if, we talked about payday, some people are waiting for payday and completely understand that. But, they might want to just go with minimum maintenance now. And then at payday time, it might be maximum results. Very, very interesting. We have a client that we worked with, really helping them with some of these strategies, training their team to sell, using some of these scripts that we've spoken about today, and implementing some sales tools, which has been really, really exciting. And what's happened now is their team have gone from, they have an amazing team, but they just weren't confident with selling high-priced treatments and products. They weren't confident. So again, we've done, a lot of training, and we've implemented some of these sales tools that we've been talking about, and they are now selling $1,500 packages like it's a loaf of bread, like it's the cost of a loaf of bread. It is amazing. They are so confident, and it's just, the scripts just roll off the tongue, and they are just doing amazing. So think about what this could actually do if you implemented this into your business. Okay, so we've covered a lot today, and I just want to show you how to get started. Obviously, we've covered a lot of strategies around, waking up a database, an old database, and also implementing some sales training into your clinic, and obviously some amazing sales tools. So how to get started, but one of the first things that you want to be doing is putting in place a training plan, making sure that you are incorporating sales training with, it's great if you can do it weekly. Please do not expect your team to know how to sell. They are great at what they do. Sales skills doesn't always come naturally. It is a learned skill. So really help and support them with training. Weekly training is fantastic. Add into your weekly team meetings, add in a sales element so they can learn a new skill, introduce some of the scripts that we've talked about today. We've got some great one-liner scripts which will actually really help. Again, reach out to us. We will send those through to you. Get to know your numbers, know where your team are at from a sales perspective. This is really important. Are they selling a lot of product but not a lot of, treatment packages? What are your team's numbers? Because when you know their numbers, you know where they need help the most. Have regular meetings, performance reviews with your team. This is really, really important. Support them and encourage them, and also keep them accountable. Really, really important. Make sure that you have in place your sales tools, so then when you get busy, the client's appointment doesn't come just become about chatting. There are certain sales processes in place, and you've got the sales tools ready to go. So if you get busy, there are still opportunities and you are not missing them. Really, really important. Find the gaps in your business, find the gaps in your sales, and put a plan together to actually reduce some of the gaps based on our training today. Where will you be in a year's time? We talked about this at the beginning of our session today. Where will you be in a year's time, and how will you get there? There are so many opportunities to get help. We can obviously help you. We've got a bunch of resources, which I mentioned at the beginning of today's session. Some of the strategies that we spoke about today are covered in depth in our Ultimate Business Guide for Clinics. You will love it. I have grabbed all the best strategies that I've used in my clinic and in our clients' clinics, things that we've been using over the years. We've grabbed the 10 most successful, and we've incorporated them in this guide, which you can get from us. Here is some details. We've got Instagram, where we are running regular Instagram training, regular training videos, tips, strategies, things that we've got some scripts that we're covering next week, which is fantastic. And also we've got Facebook. I'll leave my email address there. Look, the beauty industry is a great industry to be in right now. Keep a step ahead of your competitors. You cannot afford to be slack. Sales training, sales tools is really, really important for your business, and it can make such a difference if you implement them today. Do not wait. All right, guys, it's been fun. I hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.